As the Republican presidential race heats up, one underdog is making some headway in the polls. Taking a look here at Vivek Ramaswamy, getting some praise from Republicans, and while he most likely won't win any states in the primary, he could be a rising star in the party. Joining us now is Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman. So Rick, what should we be keeping an eye on here?
Well, this is horse race stuff. Ordinary people who don't really think about the election until a month or so before the voting, they don't really need to pay attention to this. But you do look for changes in the standing of the candidates. And Vivek Ramaswamy has now kind of jumped into third place. Now, these are very low numbers. He's still polling in the single digits among Republicans. But I think notable that he's actually doing better than people who have a lot better name recognition, such as Mike Pence, the former vice president, Chris Christie, the former governor of New Jersey, Nikki Haley, who was an ambassador in the Trump administration. I mean, he's sort of jumped ahead of those people. So that tells you something about what he is saying to voters seems to be resonating. For what it's worth, he is pretty Trumpy. He is riding on sort of this anti-woke sentiment you hear from Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. And he says that if he were elected president, he would pardon President Trump of any crimes he may have been committed of, which is sort of a way of splitting the baby. It's sort of a way of saying, I stand with Trump, but here's a nod to reality, the fact that he is under all these legal charges. So again, he's probably not going to be the candidate, but part of what he is saying is getting through, and he's only 37. So this does tell you something about who might be part of the future leadership of the Republican Party.
And he's certainly been making the rounds here. But I mean, you have to wonder if he's very Trumpy, but you also already have Trump running. I'm trying to understand then why he'd be growing in popularity when you already have Donald Trump in the running.
Well, not all Republicans automatically vote for Donald Trump. So the Trump base within the Republican Party, it might be half of all registered Republicans. So what about the rest? What about what you might call the other half of the Republican Party? Some of them, maybe they would consider Trump. A few of them are never Trumpers. So what a lot of these candidates are trying to do is trying to figure out how to kind of like create a Venn diagram among the people who are loyal to Trump. But let's say Trump ends up not being able to finish the job as a candidate because of legal problems. And then other people who are Trumpy, but they kind of want a Trumpy candidate, but maybe not Trump himself. So you've got several candidates really just kind of tripping over each other, including Ron DeSantis, Mike Pence, and others who are trying to be Trumpy while trying to establish some daylight between themselves and Trump because of Trump's legal problems and other things. And it's just very difficult to do given the weird makeup of the Republican Party at this point. So Ramaswamy is, he's maybe establishing just a wee little bit of daylight between Trump and himself.